Welcome to Shaw Spotlight. I'm Sarah Love, coming to you from my living room. As we've mentioned before, we've pivoted and we're respecting physical distancing. Here today, we have Charla Robinson, the president of the Thunder Bay Chamber of Commerce. How you doing, Charla?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to chat with us today. So, the reason why we wanted to speak with you today is because we want to let the community know how they can help support our micro businesses, our small businesses, all those people out there that we probably both know that are struggling right now to keep their business afloat. So, do you have any tips for myself and the community on how they can do that?
Absolutely. And thanks so much for asking. So I think that, the biggest and most obvious thing is to keep buying from local business. I mean, we know that folks are stuck at home, and maybe there's a temptation to just go on Amazon and order it that way. But you can, for most of these local businesses, they are now offering either a curbside pickup or a delivery option. So you can phone them and say, hey, I need, this, that, or the other thing, and order it from them rather than ordering it from Amazon. So that's the first thing. Some of the other things that you can do is if you have a subscription to, a membership or an extra, like a gym or an exercise class or music lessons, keep those subscriptions going, because those businesses depend on that regular cash flow to be able to pay their rent and all of those expenses that don't stop just because they're not actually opened. You can also buy gift cards to use later. Like, we know a lot of the restaurants, maybe they aren't suitable to takeout or delivery, or maybe it's not really what you want to be able to support them in a way that you can go there after this is over. So you still have the options of getting gift cards for restaurants, for many retailers. And then the other thing is just to ask how you can, ask your favorite businesses, how can I help you? What can I do to support you? Because some of them are actually, changing to do things differently than they had done previously. And there might be something that they're offering now that you weren't aware of, or they might be doing some sort of, supporting each other with, buying ahead or those sorts of things for the less fortunate. And you can actually help them to support the community and to support them by participating in those programs. So definitely lots of ways to continue to support local business. And it really is about just keeping the local business in your mind when you're doing purchasing, rather than looking to external online options.
That is some great advice. I know just on this past weekend, I used a local grocery store and I called, and in 20 minutes, I had my food. I went there, I picked it up, and it was fantastic. So that's some really great advice, is to, kind of keep it local and shop when we can in these local places. And I love the piece that you said about asking them, how can we support you? That's some really great advice, because maybe you have an idea that they haven't thought of or something. And I think that's fantastic. Now, some really great advice there for the community. Now, what about the chamber? What are you guys doing in order to help the businesses?
Well, what we've been doing is trying to help businesses understand all of the different programs that are available. We know that the federal and provincial governments and municipal governments are announcing changes to support business. So we've put up on our website at tvchamber.ca a full resource page that has all of the information about each of the federal programs. So whether that's the wage subsidy program or the emergency response benefit, the different bank account, business account programs and loans that are available, the provincial list of what is an essential service and where do you call if you have questions, all of the deferrals on things you have to pay. Information is there on all of those pieces, and we've tried to bring it down to a language that the normal folks can understand, because we know that sometimes when governments announce things, they announce it in maybe a more bureaucratic type of language that isn't really clear as to what does that mean to me as a business owner. So we're trying to bring it down to the most understandable format in our communication, so that businesses can understand, am I eligible for this? Am I not eligible? And where do I go to find out more information? And of course, we're here. Our full staff is working at home, and we are here to answer phone calls and emails if you have questions about the different programs that are available, the different things that have been announced. And then one of the other things that we've been doing is doing some different webinars, not only to explain the programs that are available, but also trying to come up with what kind of support do businesses need, maybe on a mental health level. So last week we had a webinar about how to manage the stress and burnout that you might be feeling during COVID-19. I mean, a lot of business owners are doing the same thing. They're trying to manage the kids at home, and they're trying to run a business, and they're pulled in so many directions. And then they also have the stress of potentially their business is not doing very well from a cash perspective, and how am I going to pay the bills, and all of those extra things for the business as well as for their family. So trying to provide supports from other local businesses to say, how can we manage through this difficult time, and keep ourselves healthy as well. So I certainly encourage any business owner to check out our page at tbchamber.ca. There's a whole bunch of resources there, and also links to the National Chamber of Commerce, which has a whole bunch of other resources around pandemic planning and mental health toolkits and those sorts of things that we hope will be helpful to business owners during this time.
That's a lot of really great information there, Charla. Thank you so much. That's really great to hear that you guys are pivoting as well and working from home and supporting the business community, because right now is when they really need it, and they really need our support too as patrons and customers of their establishments. So thank you so much for all the work you're doing there, and we really appreciate it. And we'll definitely make sure to advise everyone to head to tbchamber.com and see all the great stuff you're doing there. Thank you so much, Charla. Anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up?
No, just make sure you're thinking local in all of your anything that you can, and tbchamber.ca for information. And stay well and stay home, and we'll all be out celebrating when this is over.
You bet we will, for sure. We're a strong community, and we have the giant heart. So definitely. We'll see you out there one of these days.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care.